It's time to start the coaching business. So you're probably watching this and thinking to yourself, okay, I've had a successful careers. I have been sought out, have asked for advice. I have a lifetime of experience. And one of the things that I think would be very meaningful to me would be if I would just start mentoring, if I would start helping other people. I've already helped other people. I love helping other people. I have a world of experience that I want to offer. So it's going to sound kind of strange if I would say, let's build a coaching business, because very likely if you're watching this, you already have at least one or sold one business, right? You've been in the space. You don't need the money really, and you're just looking to contribute. So I wanted to share a couple of things. Thing number one is that people really value, as someone that's been in this space for years, people value what they pay for. People pay attention to what they pay for, and people demand from what they pay for, right? Again, you think to yourself, the number of, expectations I'm going to have on a $150,000 Porsche versus a $20,000 Honda, it's through the roof, right? Okay, the Honda, there's certain things, maybe a little road noise, certain things don't work, the seats, the options aren't the same. You're dropping 150 grand on a sports car, you're gonna want a certain level of customizability, I guess you can say, right? So if you're spending the money, you wanna make sure that you're getting the value of the time you spend. What does that have to do with coaching and mentoring? So if you're sitting down with someone, again, your pedigree is great, you've made money, you have experience, you have maybe some degrees, you have a degree from life, whatever it might be. If you're sitting down with people and they're not invested, not just with their time, but with their capital, it's going to be very hard. You're actually taking so much value off of the table because you're going to be dealing with people that are not as invested as they could be. You think to yourself, but I don't need the money, or these people have a lot less money than me. No problem. Take the money, reinvest it back into the organization or the individual at the end. Give it to your favorite charity. But what I can say is that if you are really committed to mentoring, if there is not that financial transaction, I have people tell me this all the time, I coach for free. You're not coaching, you're giving advice. Coaching is a financial transaction whereby I invest in you, the coach, to provide direction, and you, the coach, take my investment and deliver with your experience, with your information, with your expertise, the change that I'm seeking to invest in with myself. It creates accountability, it skyrockets the effectiveness of the coaching, and it's the best way for you to take advantage of your time and experience. So even if you would think to yourself, I never even thought about starting a coaching business, but in my heart, I feel like at this stage in my life, it's very important for me to set up and to start helping people, to start mentoring the next generation, maybe to mentor other entrepreneurs to be more philanthropic, maybe to have better marriages, maybe to, find a more meaningful path in life. Maybe you've made lots of money and you realized it's not everything that you thought it might be. You wished maybe there was some other advice that you had gotten, or maybe how to invest your money differently so maybe you can get there faster, or maybe to pay attention to certain relationships in your life as your success grows, where it's kind of hard to put the pieces back at a certain point, right? Whatever it might be, right? And you look out and you realize, like, I have all this experience and I really want to help people. Let me tell you something. People want to be helped. The whole education system in the world today is completely detached and is in such great need for just a rethinking, right? You show up, you pay money, you think it's going to get you somewhere. The people that are teaching you, they don't actually have experience. People need someone to sit with them. People need to learn from people that have done it. People need to have that connection, to have that mentorship, to go back to think, how are people learning about life back in the day? It was like through father to son, mentor to mentee, right? That's what coaching ultimately is it's putting individuality back into education. It's putting individuality back into growth and development. It's not the kind of thing you can get from a book or from a course. Like, it's you and them. And in order for that to work to the best of its ability, there has to be a lot of things, actually. There has to be the transfer of capital. You, the professional, have to learn how to package what you do in a way that they're going to be open to hearing it. You also have to learn how to talk about what you do. And again, you probably can do all kinds of stuff. So it's getting your messaging dialed in so that you understand how to, where do they pick up? We teach this in our course about how that everyone's on like a continuum in their journey, right? So it's like, think of this as a continuum, right? So like maybe you started here and then you got to here, right? So like, who do you start talking to over the path? Like, where is that person? Because oftentimes we say that you are your own best client. The you from years ago is going to be your best client. So you think to yourself, like, when can my information now make the most impression on someone that's where I was? So do you go back to like elementary school and you start talking about like, not letting yourself get bullied around? Or is it like the first time you raise capital and now you have a company and now you have some money and like, what do I do now? Or maybe it's like you're talking to entrepreneurs who have just sold their first company, right? And like, how do I figure out what my next step is? Or it's like, I'm thinking about selling my company. What questions should I be asking? Or I'm sitting on all kinds of capital and how do I deploy it? And like, how do I find who to give to? Or whatever it might be, right? So it's very important to get super dialed in to who's going to benefit the most from your help. How do you package what you do so that they can see where we're going? Because that's also super important, right? One of the main things we want when you invest in a coach is, like, where are we going, right? It's not a therapist, right? It's not therapy. You're not doing that kind of stuff. What you're trying to do is to say, look, I can get you from here to here faster than it took me, right? With a little bit more insight than I had when I started. You're giving people that support structure and that support system. So that's also very important. Finally, I think the most important thing to do is to actually treat this like something that is important, right? You grew your company because you had intention behind it. You were focused on it. You built it. You developed it. You thought, how can I do it the best way possible? You built your marriage the same way. Hopefully, you raised your kids the same way, right? A lot of times with mentorship, it's like, I don't know, give me a person, I'll work on them. How do you know? How do you know this is going to be the right kind of a person? How do you know that if you spend X amount of time with this kid or this person, you're not taking away more important time with someone else that could actually benefit more, right? So your time, your expertise, it's not finite. So you have to figure out, how do I take the best advantage of my time? So we built out this course. The course is called 8 to 6, right? 8 weeks to be able to bill $6,000 in coaching fee. Is that a lot of money? No, not at all. But what it helps you do is how to refine your messaging, how to get in the place, how to get the support and the help in order to actually see this as a business, see this as something professional where you can really show up, right? And people can come to you and you can build this up. And once you have that dialed in, that relationships, the ability to talk about what you do, the ability to coach deeply, to actually work on a lot of the mindset stuff that's like the fundamentals of why people don't succeed the way that they want. Once you have that, then the world is open. You can scale, you can have this be a beautiful side career, it could be something very meaningful, it could be an opportunity for you to mentor people before you invest in them. The sky's the limit. So if this might be something that you would be interested in, please don't hesitate, reach out. Someone on our team will book a call with you, see if it's a fit. I profoundly appreciate the time. Thank you very much and wishing you the best of luck.